This week's chapter of Black Clover was in one word, predictable. But is a predictable chapter always a bad thing? The majority of topics discussed in this chapter were things many of us theorized would come to pass for weeks. Surely knowing that will happen can break the tension and make things boring, but I would argue that in an instance like this, the result is instead satisfaction. I'm glad Secre is a part of the Black Bulls, instead of becoming Julius' assistant like some suggested. I'm glad that we have a reason for why the Black Bulls are going abroad, rather than them forever cutting ties with the Clover Kingdom. I'm glad that the next arc, or couple of arcs, involves a ton of overdue world building. What do you guys think? Is it bad that this chapter was predictable, or are you satisfied like I am? Philosophical questions aside, hello everyone, I'm Ozzy, and this is my Black Clover 219 chapter analysis. Tabata begins chapter 219 with an answer to the question that was screaming at the front of everyone's minds. Why isn't Asta getting shot? Without wasting any more time, our favorite Syscon proceeds to do what he does best, and we can finally be at ease. Jokes aside, Yami's speech is my favorite part of this chapter. You've made yourself comfortable at our home already. A little late to complain now, ain't it? After hanging around us for so long, you still don't get it? His words carry a refreshing amount of charisma. No one's gonna bat an eye if they see someone weird like you with us. We're all the same, you know? Watching Yami pull a Black Bull's robe over her head was such a heartwarming moment that really sweetened this scene. With this newfound addition to the Black Bull family, there comes a problem that I was shocked to see. Lumiere refers to Secre as Nero. Honestly, I don't know what to make of this. For her real name to be revealed and then only chapters later for us to go back feels weird. In the coming chapters, this is sure to be answered as to what name she will go by, but for now, what are your thoughts? With Asta and Nero free, the teams are set and the battle is ready to kick off. It's at this point that I realized something incredibly crucial that completely changed my perspective of Damnatio's character. I understand the weight of your feelings on the matter, but those feelings will not save the country. Did Damnatio just show sympathy? It might not seem that outstanding to some, but I personally feel that I had him all wrong. He's not hell-bent on screwing over Asta. He's hell-bent on keeping the peace and preventing as few casualties as possible on the way there. I believe he was truly placing his faith in Asta to defend Marie when he shot her. I'm not saying that wasn't terrible. I'm saying that he sees his position as the gatekeeper for this powerful family of nobles. He must stop them by offering them a satisfactory answer to their rage, even at the cost of his family. He holds an incredibly bittersweet position. The other thing I wanted to discuss about Damnatio is his magic. It turns out that he uses different scales for different abilities, so he's more so like Asta in regards to how his magic works. As for his spells, we are finally given the details as for how his magic worked a few chapters ago. I don't believe that Damnatio weakened those assailants, but rather because Augustus was in the room, everyone had to make up for that imbalance. At this point, I doubt we'll ever see Damnatio in a true fight, but if we do, I would love to see how strategically he utilizes his balancing abilities. So the battle between Damnatio and the Black Bulls is essentially relegated to 3 pages, and within these pages there are 2 significant things that I want to discuss. Demon Destroyer Sword Causality Break. Whoa. In regards to the Demon Destroyer Sword, it obviously had to have some ability other than exorcising elves, but what an ability to have. Initially, I thought this was essentially Asta's version of Monozone, but upon further inspection, it seems that this ability is directly and specifically targeting people. So my belief is that it works like a kind of undo spell, For example, if Yami was shrunk by somebody's size magic, then Asta could use this ability to return them to the normal size. The second thing I wanted to point out about this fight is that Yami was going in hard. I honestly believe he was going to kill this man. Now obviously in the past we've seen Yami use non-lethal attacks, and this could certainly have been one of them, but I like to think that the way he struck Nozelle's shield is indicative of otherwise. Speaking of Nozelle, he and Fuego Leon crashed the party. I feel that it really goes to show just how much Asta has influenced them that they would show up in this way. Do you see how Fuego is flexing on Damnatio? Boy! Jokes aside, it's awesome that we're seeing two of the top candidates for the next Magic Emperor holding Asta in such high regard. It turns out that Julius's plan to quell this situation is by pseudo-exiling Asta as an excuse for them to go and search out evidence of demons so that he can pardon himself from these charges. We all certainly knew that we were likely going to be exploring other kingdoms soon, but I never thought this would be the vehicle through which we did so. Surprisingly, this goes to show that Tabata has been building up this as the next arc since the skirmish with the Diamond Kingdom in Chapter 79. Man, I love this manga. I'm very much looking forward to finding out what direction this field trip abroad will take. I wholeheartedly believe that we'll be heading off to the Diamond Kingdom, but time will tell whether I'm right or way off the mark. But that's all for this chapter analysis. Until next chapter, seal seal.